Panzer, Tiger, Leopard. These aren't just names, they are the benchmarks of armored warfare. This video covers the complete history of German tanks, from the improvised A7V of 1918 to the high-tech Leopard 2A8 of today. Subscribe for more military history, and let's start with the First World War. The First World War pioneers, 1916 to 1918. The A7V, Germany's first operational tank. This machine served as a mobile fortress for breakthrough operations on the Western Front. It featured a box-on-tracks design with a 5.7-centimeter Maxim Nordenfeldt cannon and 6 machine guns, requiring a massive crew of 18 to 25 men. While it suffered from catastrophic mobility issues, bellying out in mud and overturning on slopes, it provided proof that Germany could field armored vehicles even if only 20 were ever built. The K-Wagen. This iron colossus represented German ambition taken to its extreme, designed as the ultimate breakthrough weapon. It featured fortress-grade armament with 4 77mm guns and weighed up to 120 tons, requiring the vehicle to be transported in modular sections. While never completed before the armistice, it established Germany's tendency toward engineering gigantism that would haunt tank design for decades. Next up, the secret development vehicles. Built to bypass the Treaty of Versailles, these machines were developed in total hiding. The interwar prototypes 1919-1933, the Light Tractor, a cover designation for Germany's covert rearmament. This light tank served as a critical test bed at the secret Kama facility in Soviet Russia. It featured a rear-mounted turret with a 37mm gun and experimental welded hull construction. While it suffered from overheating engines and fragile suspension, it provided German engineers with invaluable experience that would shape future designs. The Gross Tractor. Germany's medium tank prototype emerged from the secret programs as an experimental breakthrough vehicle. It featured amphibious capability and a short-barrel 75mm gun in a multi-turret configuration. While it suffered from command complexity and waterproofing failures, it established the 75mm caliber as the German infantry support standard. The Neubaufahrzeug. The propaganda tank of the pre-war era, this multi-turreted vehicle served primarily as psychological warfare. It featured both a 75mm and 37mm gun mounted coaxially, plus 2 secondary machine gun turrets. While it suffered from paper-thin armor of only 13 to 20mm, it provided the illusion of German heavy tank capability during the 1940 Norway campaign. Next are the Blitzkrieg tanks, fast and radio-equipped machines designed specifically for independent maneuver. The early war tanks, 1934 to 1939. The Panzerwaffe. Originally a training vehicle pressed into combat, this light tank served as the foundation of crew familiarization. It featured only 2 7.92mm machine guns and a Krupp air-cooled engine producing just 57 horsepower in the AOSF-A variant. While it suffered from complete inability to fight enemy armor, it provided the speed and radio coordination that proved the Panzer Division concept in Poland and France. The Panzer II. Built as a stopgap intermediate design, this light tank served as reconnaissance cavalry for early Blitzkrieg campaigns. It featured a 20mm autocannon capable of penetrating 14 to 20mm of steel and a 140 horsepower Maybach engine. While it suffered from being hopelessly outclassed by French and British armor, it provided the swift maneuver element that made early victories possible. The Panzer III. The first true German battle tank, this machine served as the primary anti-tank vehicle with its revolutionary 3-man turret. It featured a sophisticated torsion bar suspension with 6 road wheels and was upgraded from a 37mm to a 50mm gun. While it suffered from a turret ring too small to mount the necessary 75mm gun, it provided the chassis for the highly successful Sturmgeschütz III assault gun. The Panzer IV. The backbone of the Panzerwaffe, this machine served throughout the entire war in continuous evolution. It featured a large turret ring that allowed upgrading from the short 75mm howitzer to the long 75mm KWK-40 high-velocity gun. While it suffered from a simple leaf spring suspension that struggled with late-war weight increases, it provided the only German tank capable of matching the Soviet T-34. Next are the Big Cats, heavy tanks built with impenetrable armor and overwhelming firepower to dominate the T-34. The Panther. A flawed masterpiece, this medium-heavy tank served as Germany's response to the T-34 shock. It featured 80mm frontal armor sloped at 55 degrees and the devastating 75mm KWK-42 L-70 long-barrel gun. While it suffered from catastrophic final drive failures, averaging just 150 kilometers before breakdown, according to the 1947 French Besnier report, it provided superior long-range firepower that could destroy enemy tanks beyond their effective range. The Tiger I, the most feared tank of the war, this heavy tank served as the spearhead for critical operations. It featured 100mm vertical frontal armor and the legendary 88mm KWK-36 gun derived from the Flak series. While it suffered from an interleaved wheel suspension that froze solid in Russian winters, it provided battlefield dominance that made each Tiger worth multiple enemy tanks. The Tiger II, the King Tiger. The zenith of German heavy tank design, this 70-ton colossus served as the ultimate armored weapon of World War II. It featured 150mm sloped frontal armor and the 88mm KWK-43L71, the most powerful tank gun of the war. While it suffered from strategic immobility, overtaxing its powertrain and exceeding bridge weight limits, it provided the ability to destroy any Allied tank at ranges exceeding 2.5 kilometers. Next on the list are the super heavy projects, 1942 to 1945, the Maus. The heaviest tank ever built, this 188-ton colossus served only as a technical curiosity. It featured a 128mm main gun with a coaxial 75mm and a petrol-electric hybrid drive system. While it suffered from complete tactical uselessness, too heavy for bridges and consuming fuel at an unsustainable rate, it provided a warning about the limits of engineering excess. The E-Series. Germany's standardization dream, these designs served as the proposed replacement for the chaotic mix of German chassis. The program featured the E-10 and E-25 tank destroyers, the E-50 Panther replacement, the E-75 Tiger replacement, and the E-100 Super Heavy. While the series suffered from coming too late in the war to see production, it provided the concept of a modular family sharing components, an idea that would influence post-war design. Next on the list are the modern era, 1965 to present. The Leopard I, NATO's glass cannon, this main battle tank served as West Germany's front line against the Warsaw Pact. It featured the sacrifice of armor for extreme mobility, 830 horsepower in a 40-ton package, and the British L7 105mm rifled gun. While it suffered from vulnerability to shaped charges, it provided the speed and firepower to outmaneuver heavier Soviet armor. The Leopard 2A4. Considered the definitive Cold War tank, this machine served as the correction to the Leopard 1's armor deficiency. It featured revolutionary composite armor, a sandwich of steel, tungsten, and ceramics, and the Rheinmetall 120mm L44 smoothbore that became the NATO standard. While heavier than its predecessor, it provided the perfect balance of protection, mobility, and firepower. The Leopard 2A5. Considered the wedge-nosed evolution, this variant served to counter new kinetic penetrators. It featured distinctive spaced armor wedges on the turret front designed to deflect and prematurely detonate threats. While incrementally heavier, it provided significantly improved survivability in hull-down positions. The Leopard 2A6. Considered the long barrel upgrade, this machine served to penetrate modern Russian armor. It featured the Rheinmetall 120mm L55 gun, 1.3 meters longer than previous versions, significantly increasing muzzle velocity. While the extended barrel affected handling, it provided engagement capability at extreme ranges. The Leopard 2A7V. Considered the urban warfare specialist, this variant served as optimization for asymmetric conflicts. It featured reinforced hull mine protection, an auxiliary power unit for silent operation, and improved thermal imagers. While focused on different threats than Cold War tanks, it provided versatility for high-intensity symmetrical warfare. The Leopard 2A8. Considered the future of the Panzerwaffe, this machine serves as the first new production Leopard since 1992. It features the Euro Trophy active protection system, using radar to detect and intercept incoming missiles, and the latest generation composite armor. While the heaviest Leopard variant yet, it provides battlefield dominance through integrated digital systems and hard-kill defensive technology.